Guess who's back? Dad!
Hello there. Hey, how are you?
Welcome home, honey.
So, got a surprise for you guys.
Georgie! Hi! Oh my gosh, what?
The calm at Heartland is about to break. A quiet morning turns heavy, the kind that makes you feel something is wrong long before anyone says a word. In Season 19, Episode 9, Revenge, a hidden anger begins to rise, and its shadow reaches every corner of the ranch. This is the moment when unspoken pain becomes action, and when the people of Heartland realize that the past never stays buried. Asterisk, you can almost feel the tension in the air before anyone even steps outside. The day begins with the ranch sitting under a gray sky, the kind that seems to press down on the land. Horses shift nervously in their stalls. A cold wind pushes across the open fields, rattling the metal gates. Nothing looks out of place, yet everything feels strangely heavy, like the whole ranch is holding its breath. This episode starts by showing how quickly peace can fade at Heartland. A small incident becomes a spark, something so simple it would normally be ignored. But today, that spark lands on dry ground. A fence is found broken, but this time the break looks intentional. Tools go missing, and tracks in the dirt don't match any horse on the property. These aren't accidents. They're signs, warnings. Someone is sending a message. Amy senses it first. She doesn't say anything, but the way she pauses while brushing a nervous horse tells you she can feel the shift inside the ranch. Tim notices too, even if he tries to hide it behind his usual tough attitude. He walks the property with a sharper look in his eyes than normal. Lou feels it as well, her morning plans suddenly clouded by a rising worry she can't quite explain. What makes this opening so intense is not what we see, but what we sense. Every small sound feels louder. The crunch of gravel underboots, the creak of a barn door, even the rustling leaves seem to whisper that something is coming. This episode builds its tension quietly, like a storm gathering far off on the horizon, rolling closer with every passing minute. And then comes the moment that changes everything, an unexpected discovery that makes it clear. This isn't just mischief, it's personal. Someone out there is angry enough to cross a line and make their threat known to the people. Inside the Heartland Ranch, the word revenge isn't spoken yet, but its presence fills the air like cold smoke. As the family tries to figure out what's going on, the audience already knows this is only the beginning. What lies ahead will test everyone's trust, loyalty, and the bonds that hold Heartland together. A storm is coming, and by the time it reaches full strength, nothing will feel the same. The warning signs around the ranch are no longer small. And in this part of the episode, the tension tightens like a rope being pulled from both ends. What started as uneasy silence now turns into a direct threat, one that no one at Heartland can ignore anymore. It becomes clear that someone isn't just trying to scare them. Someone is aiming straight at the heart of the family. Amy is the first to step into the center of this rising storm. She discovers something disturbing near the training pen marks in the dirt that show a horse was driven hard, far too hard, and then left behind. The animal isn't one she recognizes. This isn't an injured horse wandering onto the property. It was brought here, placed here, almost like a message carved into the land. Amy kneels beside it, noticing the fear in its eyes. Whoever handled this horse was not gentle. They were angry, reckless, and suddenly she wonders whether she's the real target. Lou takes the lead on trying to piece things together. She starts questioning everyone around the ranch, but the answers don't fit. Nothing feels random. Every problem points towards someone who knows how Heartland works, someone familiar with the routines, the layout, even their habits. Lou's calm voice starts to crack at the edges as she realizes this could be someone they once trusted, someone who knows them well enough to hurt them in the places they least expect. Meanwhile, Tim's reaction is the opposite: sharp, fiery, and immediate. He checks the fences, then the trails, muttering under his breath. His old instincts kick in. This isn't the kind of trouble that makes him scared. This is the kind that makes him angry. Tim has made plenty of enemies over the years, and he knows better than anyone that revenge rarely comes from strangers. As he retraces steps and studies tracks, a familiar tension settles into his shoulders, like he's preparing for a fight he thought he'd left behind. Jack, steady as ever, doesn't say much at first, but his silence is louder than any outburst. He stands on the porch for a long time, watching the land with the kind of look that carries decades of memories, good ones and dangerous ones. He knows this land better than anyone, and the disruptions feel deliberate, almost calculated. Whoever is behind them isn't just trying to damage property, they're trying to get inside the family's heads. The episode builds suspense by showing how each member of the Heartland family reacts differently: fear, anger, confusion, determination. Their emotions move like ripples, spreading from one person to the next. Yet underneath it all, there is a growing feeling they all share. This isn't over. Someone out there is getting bolder, crossing lines they shouldn't cross, and pushing the ranch toward a breaking point. By the end of this section, one thing becomes painfully clear: the threat isn't drifting near them anymore. It has already arrived, and Heartland is no longer dealing with shadows or hints. They are face to face with a plan fueled by resentment, and the first move has already been made. The tension gripping Heartland begins to move from the land into the people who live on it. This is where the emotional weight of the episode settles in. Not with loud arguments or dramatic fights, but with the quiet strain that shows up in the way each character carries themselves. Revenge doesn't just hit the surface, it digs into the people who love this place, pulling at their strengths and their weaknesses. Amy tries to stay focused on the horses, but even they sense the shift. A normally calm mare refuses to be saddled. A young gelding paws the ground as if warning her about something she can't see. Amy's gift has always been her ability to understand horses, but now their fear mixes with her own. She starts to question whether she can protect them from something she still doesn't fully understand. Her hands move slower, her breathing deeper, as she tries to calm animals who are reflecting the storm she's trying to hide inside. Lou, on the other hand, feels the pressure settle on her shoulders in a different way. She's used to keeping the family running smoothly, holding everything together with planning, list, and leadership. But now, the situation is slipping outside her control, and the unknown becomes her biggest enemy. She double-checks security lights, walks the property with her phone gripped tight, and tries to keep her voice steady when she talks to the others. What scares her most isn't the signs of danger, it's the idea that she might not be able to protect the people she loves. Tim reacts like he always does when faced with conflict. He pushes back hard. Too hard. Instead of easing the tension, he becomes part of it. His frustration explodes in the way he snaps at anyone who crosses his path. Every new clue makes his temper rise, and his fear comes out as anger. Deep down, he knows this threat has the power to reach the family in ways he can't fight with his fist. That's what rattles him. And the harder he tries to hide that fear, the more obvious it becomes. Jack, steady as a mountain, takes the emotional hit differently. He becomes quieter, slower, more thoughtful. It's the kind of silence that speaks volumes. He notices the small details: Amy's uneasy eyes, Lou's restless movements, Tim's heavy steps. Jack has lived through enough storms to know when trouble is about to break a family apart. His calm presence becomes the only stable thing in the chaos. But even he can feel something pulling at the edges of their bond. Georgie, or whichever younger character is present this season, adds another layer to the pressure. They're trying to understand the danger, but also trying not to make the situation worse. They watch the adults fall apart in their own ways and feel caught between wanting to help and wanting to run from the fear creeping into every conversation. As emotions spread through the ranch like cracks in ice, one truth becomes clear: the threat outside the ranch is powerful, but the tension inside is becoming even stronger. Someone out there may want revenge, but the real danger is what this pressure might do to the Heartland family itself. By the end of the section, the ranch feels less like the home everyone trusts and more like a place waiting for the next blow. And all of them, Amy, Lou, Tim, Jack, are standing right in the center of it, trying not to fall apart before the truth finally reveals itself. It begins with a discovery, one that no one is ready for. A piece of equipment is found damaged, not by accident, but with intention so clear it sends a chill through the entire family. Whoever is doing this isn't just making threats anymore. They're stepping deeper into Heartland territory, like they're testing how far they can push before someone snaps. The message is bold, almost daring. "I'm not done yet." Lou is the first to react, and this time her worry turns into action. She starts making calls, gathering information, trying to connect dots that still refuse to line up. But every answer she finds leads to another question, and each one drags her further into the mystery. The idea that the ranch, her family's safe place, might not be safe at all, hits her harder than she expects. You can see it in the way she stands a little too still, listens a little too long, as if waiting for the land itself to speak.